It's Shawn Mosch, and I am here to answer all your Cricut questions or any questions that you have specifically about my card. First off, did you like the card? I've seen a few comments that people did. Okay, my favorite part is how that glitter sparkles. Oh, Kathy is making my card right now. Post a picture on social media so that I can see it. I absolutely love seeing what people make. And because I'm a little bit of a Disney fan, I had to do a variation that was a touch of Disney. I designed these Mickey Mouse snowflakes years ago, and I was really shocked that Disney hadn't thought of doing that themselves. And now I find myself using those on little touches of my holiday crafting just all the time. They're so fun. So Brandy's asking me, what do I snack on while I'm crafting? I'm actually trying to be better with snacking and crafting. I always have my water right next to me. Of course, a Mickey Mouse glass. But yeah, I'm trying to be healthier. So I've cut down on my snacking. I want to know what your questions are, either about this project or about Cricut Design Space. Lisa has a comment and a question. I love the hidden Mickeys. Thank you. Do you have other ideas to hide figures in snowflakes? I haven't tried things other than the Mickey Mouse just because that's me. But I did see someone else that saw my original snowflake tutorial, and they cut different images like the school that they went to, their icon or logo. Someone else sliced family members' names out of the center of the snowflake and then turned it into ornaments to personalize. So like y'all had a snowflake ornament with your name on it. So cute. If you're not a Disney fan, find something else that you like and try that technique. I love it when people post things and they're like, it's not an exact copy of what you did, but I took what you taught me and learned from it and applied it to my own thing. That tells me that you really took the time to understand the process and how Cricut Design Space works. If you are a Cricut owner and you are at all confused about how Cricut Design Space works, please reach out to me. I feel like about 90% of the questions that people ask online about what am I doing wrong, I can answer them. I have the answers. I did see a question pop up and then it went away. Oh, Tina, glad to see me again. I'm glad that you're here. What's your most favorite thing you have made? It's actually downstairs. If I knew you were going to ask that question, I would have brought it. But of course, it's Disney. It's a 7-layered paper shadow box design. I have it sitting in my front entry. And when I come down the stairs from this office or my craft room, it's kind of the first thing I see. And I smile every time I see it. It was one of those things that I had the idea in my head and I just had to turn it into a reality. And I was able to do that because I've spent so many years learning what Cricut Design Space does and doesn't do, and really honing in and be able to figure out the steps. Another favorite project of mine I did recently was a DIY birthday. We had a family member that reached out to me and said, I want to do my daughter's first birthday in Alice in Wonderland theme. And I was like, all right, I can help you. She started sending me Pinterest pictures of, I saw this, I saw that, I saw that. I don't know why, but for some reason, I look at the Pinterest picture and I start to see the steps that you would have to take. in Cricut Design Space to recreate that. I think it's just because I've spent so much time in the software and understanding what it does that I can break things down into steps. So if you feel like you need somebody like that in your back pocket, or a Cricut buddy, I'm that person. Besides Disney, I also love hockey. My daughter played hockey for a while. So Mindy asked a really good question. Do I have a file for the Disney Snowflake? No. So the Mickey Mouse icon is a licensed image. The only place you can legally purchase a licensed image from Disney is through Cricut Design Space, because Cricut worked out a contract with Disney. So what you have to do, you can go find any old snowflake image or SVG design anywhere. If it already has something cut out of the center, use contour to fill that in. Then in Cricut Design Space, you're going to search the word Mickey, and you don't have to buy the whole image set. You could just buy that one icon. It might be $2, but then it's yours forever, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can't sell it. You can't sell anything you make with it. So I could not sell this card. I could sell this card, but because this one has a Disney thing on it, I cannot sell that because of trademark infringement. I actually have a whole article about trademark infringement on my site. Creative Art Spark asks, do you have a timer set to get up and move during making sessions? I'm learning that I need to do that at about 8 hours or I can't move at all. No, I don't. And when I'm sitting for too long, I am the person that does that groan when I get up. So I'm 52, but sometimes make noises that sound like I'm probably around 82. I do craft though when I'm cricketing. In my craft room, I have a raised table, so it's kind of like a standing desk. Deb, I'm so glad you're here. I love how Shawn teaches rather than giving you files. Well, then you learn and do what you want. Yep, Deb, you kind of hit it right on the head there. That's what I enjoy doing is teaching you how to use the software. I can't imagine and make a file for every single project everybody out there wants to make. But if I can teach you how to use the software, then you can go make whatever you want. Linda asked, have you tried the glow-in-the-dark vinyl by Cricut yet? Honest moment here. I am not a fan of Cricut vinyl. I like Caesar for iron-on, and I've used StarCraft for permanent vinyl or Oracle. But I have used Caesar's glow in the dark, and yeah, it was fun. I'm actually trying to think of some new projects for that. I was trying to think of a way to make glow in the dark with a card because people are really into card making. I used some reflective iron-on vinyl on a trick-or-treating bag last year or 2 years ago. It's all a blur. So then when the person was out trick-or-treating, if lights hit it, it would reflect. It said trick-or-treat, and then there was a cauldron with stuff bubbling out of it, and the cauldron was the gray reflective iron-on. So I thought it was a good sneak a little safety in there. Deb asks, do you have a video for making small sizable paper frames? I cannot believe how many people are asking for how to make paper frames. This has been a big thing. And actually, Deb, I do have a video. There's a really short tutorial on my website too. But if you go to my YouTube channel and search frame, you'll find that video. It's so easy to make frames. I find there's so many things out there that people will say, I spent hours searching online and nobody can answer this for me. And then they find my video, and in a matter of a couple minutes, I solved their Cricut problems. I like to keep my videos short and to the point because I'm a crafter and I hated watching those videos where you had to get through the first 12, 15 minutes of they're trying to sell you their thing, and then here's the tip or here's the how-to. So I cut right to the point. The bad part about that is my videos are usually very short, and that doesn't make me a ton of YouTube money, but I'm not going to change my style. Short, to the point, Disney fan. That's me. Knows a ton about Cricut. Carlos said, I just tuned in. Do you also include a PNG for those of us who do not have Cricuts? You know what? I did not make this into a PNG, but what machine do you have? Most machines would use an SVG file. Most cutting machines, I should say, would use an SVG file. Really, the only time you'd want to use a PNG is if you're doing a print and cut, like when I make stickers. Sometimes I use a PNG. So if you can tell me what machine you're using, that'd be great. Catherine asked, do you know if it is illegal for us to make a Mickey Mouse image just using circles? No, you can make it. You can't sell anything you made with it because legally, if somebody looks at that and goes, that's a Mickey, Disney could sue you. So it doesn't matter that you made it just out of circles. Yeah, you legally cannot sell it. So what glitter iron-on do I prefer? Caesar. I love Caesar vinyl. And if you shop at mycraftsource.com, every single time you shop, I want you to type in coupon code Shawn Mosch, my name, all one word. And you're going to save 5% every single day. You're welcome. I like Caesar just because it cuts easier and weeds easier, I think. What is my favorite tool that I use? You know what? I love my pin pen. I also sew, so I have a lot of straight pins. And I used to use a straight pin and just try to poke out little tiny pieces like the parts inside that snowflake until I got a pin pen. Game changer. It's cute because it's rose gold. Two, it works like a pen, so you can click that needle in and out. It holds like a pen, so it's more comfortable to hold in your hand. You can just pick those little tiny pieces. I got mine at my craft source. So, glow in the dark nail polish. Maybe I could paint that. Oh, Catherine, I want to see it. You could use your Cricut to cut a stencil and then go to the dollar store. They probably have a ton of glow in the dark nail polish right now. Just pick some up and then paint through the stencil with the glow in the dark nail polish. Wouldn't that be fun? What is the name of my YouTube channel? I'm at the Shawn Mosch. I was going to just do at Shawn Mosch, but somebody had already taken my name. So it's the Shawn Mosch. Otherwise, go to my website, shawnmosch.com, and up on the top header are all my little social media icons. You can follow me everywhere. Follow me, please. Be a stalker. Maureen has a question. Have you purchased the Cricut Venture yet? And if so, do I like it? No, I have not purchased it. No, I do not plan on purchasing it. And I know some people that have it. So, and one of them actually told me it's not for everyone. So here's my 2 cents, which might turn into more like $1.02. Um, to me, the big benefit is it's a big, wide cutting machine. I already have a large format cutting machine, which is called the StarCraft Solo. I can cut things a lot bigger than I can with my Cricut with the Solo. So that wasn't a big plus for me. Um, Also, it's a lot of space, and I don't have that kind of space to take up with another machine. Next was the fact that in order to cut matless with that big venture, you have to use the Cricut Smart Vinyl. And I am not a fan of the Cricut brand vinyl. And I really don't like their Smart Vinyl because the Smart Vinyl is it's more expensive. So if you're using it for a business venture, you're not getting as much you're paying more per square inch. So then your projects are going to cost you more. So you're not making as much return on your investment. With my StarCraft Solo, I can cut matless right now. And I can use my Caesar vinyl that I like. So I'm happy. I have no need for going big like that. Do you do any other crafts with paper aside from Cricut projects? Oh wow, now to think. I have done some things where I hand fold them, but not gonna lie, I don't find myself very artistic where I have friends that could draw up something and then cut it out. No, I can't. So I like that I can find elements that I like in different softwares, programs other people have done, and then alter them to be my own. So yeah, most of my stuff is Cricut or Solo cut. What material do you recommend for cutting stencils using a Cricut? This is actually on my to-do list to do some testing, but I have used removable vinyl. It's Oracle 631. It's a vinyl that is made so that you could put it like on your wall, make a wall decal, and it's going to peel off and not damage the drywall. So I've made stencils out of that, and you can either paint stencil through it or spray paint through it or the nail polish idea. But I do want to test some other stencil products. How often do I calibrate my Cricut? Every time it cuts wrong. I'm sorry, every time it cuts incorrectly for print then cut. The only time you need to calibrate your Cricut is for print then cut projects or projects using the knife blade. For making this card, there is absolutely no reason to calibrate, none whatsoever. Carlos, Shawn, you asked what cutting machine I have. I do not have a cutting machine at all. That's why I asked if you included a file we can print. Gotcha. I didn't. Sorry, Carlos. Because I was thinking we were doing Cricut cutting. But if you're looking at getting a cutter, talk to me and I can help you find some good deals. And maybe I could even convert this into a PNG for you. If you want to email me, before this gets away from me too much, if you leave this live and you're like, oh, I thought of my question later, email me. Reach out to me through social media. Email me I'm Shawn Mosch at shawnmosch@gmail.com. I love answering your Cricut questions. Do I use a die cutter like a Gemini? I have a Big Shot and a Cuttlebug. Wow. I bought the Cuttlebug when it was new. I've just dated myself for those of you who know a Cuttlebug and how long that's been around. So I tend to use my Cricut even more, and this is why. With the things where you have to feed the dies through, I always got frustrated that it's like, okay, this is the size or shape or element that somebody else designed. What if I wanted to take that snowflake and put a Mickey Mouse in it? I can't do that because their snowflake is just a snowflake. Or they made it this size for this type of card. Well, what if I wanted to make a ginormous birthday card or a Christmas card? I couldn't increase it. So I tend not to use those Geminis, the Big Shot, the Cuttlebug quite as often as some others do. Loretta says I have a lot of texture. Okay. Yeah, is that even older? I would have to look that up, but people ask me like, how long have you been cricketing? I got my first Cricut in 2008. Back then, all of our images were on cartridges, and we had to plug those in to the machine, like putting a cassette in a tape recorder, or a CD in a CD player. And we couldn't grab things from off on the internet and bring them into Design Space. There was no Design Space. For a very short time, there was something called Cricut Design Studio. So, what Cricut do I use, and which do you prefer, Cricut or Solo? Oh, so it depends on, it depends on the project I'm doing. I have a Cricut Explorer, and I've always said if that breaks down and dies, I'll get the Maker. Not the Maker 3, just the Maker. The reason I won't go Explorer 3 or Maker 3 is because the benefit with them is you can cut matless if you use this Cricut Smart Vinyl. But like we've already talked about, I'm not a fan of the Cricut Vinyl, really not a fan of their Smart Vinyl. So I do like my Solo when I'm either doing a lot of the same image over and over and over again, or cutting matless. And I have a video, I think it's on my TikTok, that shows me cutting matless. It was last year around the same time. My mother works at a school, and one of the teachers wanted a whole bunch of jack-o'-lantern faces cut out of vinyl so that her students could just pick, I want these eyes and this nose and this mouth, and mix and match and make their own faces. So I needed to cut like 100, different eyes, nose, mouth. Well, I just set it up, and then I put the whole roll of vinyl, fed the front part through my Solo, and locked it in, and then I just hit go. And it was just going and going, and I had this big long roll of continuous eyes and nose and mouth. So that was really fun. The software that goes with the Solo is called Create, and it is a little bit more difficult to learn. But one thing I really love is that I can make SVG files. So, for example, this card, if I make it in the Create software, I can export this whole card as an SVG file. Instead of in Cricut Design Space, it's just a Cricut project, and that's all you can do with it is keep it in Cricut. Brandy's giving me that, like, it's time to wrap it up. So thank you all for joining me. And if you liked what I did and what I was able to teach you, I would love it if you would go to my website, shawnmosch.com, and join my newsletter. and follow me on social media. Send me all of your questions about Cricut or even StarCraft Solo. And your questions often turn into my next tutorial because that's how I teach people. I say, this is the question that everybody's asking. Here's the tutorial on it. So